Hello, hello friends. Welcome to my abiding journal. I see everybody is already saying hello in the chat. Oops, sorry, hold on.
We're just really impressed with everything.
Be quiet, computer. Sorry about that. Well, at least the ad is working. Hopefully the sound for our video is also working. So do let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see the journal okay, and the messy desk. It's already messy and we haven't even started doing anything yet. But my name is Kelsey Lee. Welcome to the Monthly Journaling Club. This is a community in which we gather once a month to document our lives 1 month at a time. And as you can see in front of me, I have September here. This is the last month that we documented. So now you can see what that finished entry looks like for those who missed the live or didn't get to quite see how it finished, since I don't think we quite got this one done when we were hanging out. But we've been doing this since the beginning of the year together, and I actually have been doing this for much longer. That's why I have an entire journal here dedicated to monthly journaling, and it has been such a joy. And actually, friends, I was counting the other day how many pages I have left in this journal, and I actually will be finishing this journal in 2026. So that will be my final year in this journal before I need a new one. So it will be really fun to then have a completed monthly journal for the first time, in which it will be an entire journal dedicated just to monthly journaling. And at that point, I will then have, I started it in 2023, so we'll have 23, 24, 25, and 26, 4 years in one journal. So really excited for that. But first, we need to move on to documenting the next month together, which of course is going to be October. And why am I not able to scroll down and see all of your comments? It's being very odd. Show chat. Okay, there we go. That was weird. It was not letting me scroll down. So let me catch up here in the chat. We've got Karen with us, Wendy. Hello. Just joined this weekend. That's so fun. Sarah is here from North Carolina. We've got, I believe that's Bree is here with us. So good to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. And as you are coming in and joining, please go ahead and say hi. Oh, hi, Joshi. How are you? It's so good to see you here. I was just commenting on her video on bullet journal ideas. Joshi Corin in the chat has an amazing channel here where she shares so many incredible journal ideas on her channel. She basically just like stockpiles tons and tons of ideas and then shares them in these wrap up videos that are just incredible. And she actually makes example spreads for all of the ideas she has. It's very, very impressive. And I was watching her video earlier today and realized, oh wow, she gave us a shout out, the Monthly Journaling Club, because one of the ideas that she shared was to do monthly journaling and to do review spreads in that way. So glad you could jump in and join us for a little bit. We've got Mary Ann, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna turn the page. As you can see, we have a lot. A lot that I have saved for this month. Actually, I'm kind of trying to brainstorm how we're gonna get creative this month to fit everything, because I just went a little overboard with the photos. I have so many here, and then I have some like fun add-ins. I went to the book sale and picked this up. I have this little brochure from the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences that we went to this last weekend. And oh my goodness, this was incredible. I was just so very impressed, and it's completely free. We love a good free museum. So if you're in the North Carolina area near Raleigh, at any point, make sure that you go and visit this museum. It was phenomenal. I have this sticker from the Theodore Roosevelt National Park because Ben actually was in North Dakota this month, so I want to document that for him. And then I do have some of the Autumn Delights printables from my Patreon, some of the freebie printables here as well. This one is a freebie called Welcome Baby that you can get over on Patreon. And as you're going to see with my photos, we have quite a few baby related things to document. And then I have some more fall memorabilia pieces that I saved. And then I also have a birthday party invitation, which I actually designed this for my friend. She asked for some help designing an invitation. And so that is what I came up with for the first birthday for my dear friend's, not, I was going to say baby, but I guess no longer baby now that she's one. We also had an unfortunate case of food poisoning for a good 24 hours, both my husband and I. So I saved this from the box as, you know, memorabilia of the suffering that we went through. And then I, of course, have our month stickers. So I'm going to use those as we've been doing throughout this entire year. And I have our bucket list. So every single month in 2025, we have been creating bucket lists over on my Patreon and then trying to check off as many of the items as we can together, and basically just as a way to inspire us to get out there and do things and make memories to actually be able to document them later in our journal and to just live life to the fullest. And so there were some fun ideas on this list, but I will say I don't think I did most of them. I did start reading Frankenstein, so I can check that one off. And I've gone through walks, but I don't know that I can really say I've gone on a long hike this October, unfortunately, which is really sad. This month really flew by for me. I don't know if anybody else experienced that. But I did refresh my goals for the last quarter. I did go to a cafe and spent some time there, so I could check that off, even though I did not technically get a refill. And I did make a soup from scratch. I made chicken noodle soup, which isn't quite like the soup in this image, but that doesn't matter. We can still check it off. Let me know in the comments what you all checked off from the month of October and what you're excited to document. And also, if you like the idea of the bucket list, the November bucket list is out now, so you can head over to my Patreon. The link is in the description, and you can go ahead and use all of those ideas to jumpstart your month and get excited. And I will say, I did try for this month to make all of the items really realistic for people. So I feel like there's a lot of different ways that you can think about them and check them off. I know a lot of you have already commented saying, I think I can actually do most of these things this month. So that was exciting to see. And I'm excited, friends, that we actually only have one more bucket list to create, and that is going to be December, of course. So that will be our final bucket list. And then in 2026, I haven't revealed this yet anywhere, so you will be the first to know. Those of you who are joining live and are going to watch this after the fact, the first to know that I think for 2026, what we are going to do is do like a little bingo sheet. And so it's kind of be similar to the bucket list, but it's just going to be written items that you can check off and see if you can get bingo. And they'll be, I think, more fulsome in like what they are. Like, you know, probably every month there'll be some kind of like read this type of book in this genre, or like watch a movie or a show. So it'll be things that are realistic so that you can realistically, you know, check off at least 5 of the items to get bingo. But I'm hopeful that you'll be able to check off a lot more and that it'll just be a new, fresh way to inspire us in our journaling and in our lives, right? To actually go out and make memories. So I'm just going to go and cut all of the ones that I know I can check off because I did them. Oh, that's so awesome, Sarah. Sarah was already thinking about maybe doing bingo cards every month this year. So yeah, that's my plan. And I think I'm gonna aim to keep them kind of small and simple. So that way you can always incorporate it if you wish, and are using a larger journal like I am, into your spread. So it can also kind of serve as a feature of every spread in that month, or in that year rather, every monthly spread. And I'm seeing Sarah said that she was trying to convince herself to get up and journal. I was in a similar boat, though. I kind of worked late and then was making dinner, so I had to quick make dinner. I like just got it out of the oven 10 minutes before we were supposed to start our live stream, so I quick like scarfed down a few bites of dinner, ran upstairs and got everything set up, and now here I am. But yeah, it was definitely a day where I was like, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to. I just want to curl up with a book on the couch and forget the world. But I will say, every time I feel that way, as soon as I finally do sit down to journal, I'm always so grateful I did. And I'm always reminded, like, oh, actually, this is food for my soul. Like, this is, like, I act like it's a chore and something I don't want to do. But then as soon as I sit down and actually do it, I'm like, oh no, this is exactly what my soul needed in this moment. I'm going to count the visit a cafe. I might actually just cut out the stay long enough for a refill. Not only because, like, technically I didn't stay long enough for a refill, but also because I just know I'm only going to have so much room on this entry, so it's an easy way to trim things down. But you should also think about, like, I try sometimes to make it worded in such a way that you could adapt it if you wanted to. So in this case, you can just cut off the rest and just say visit a cafe and check it off as yes, you did it. Same with something like paint or carve a pumpkin. It says make it cute, not scary, but you could just cut that out and say, you know, you didn't make it cute. Maybe you did make it scary and that's the way you wanted it to be. So I do try and think about that when I'm wording the different pieces. Okay, and now let's cut out our October title for our month. And I'm gonna have to think. I haven't fully decided how I want to do the titles going into 2026. I do think I kind of want to return to it being in the center. Maybe I'll just use the bingo cards as the monthly title. I could do, here's an idea. Maybe what I'll do is use the monthly title, but then also maybe like a letter, just like J for January, F for February, because that sometimes looks nice. So I have to figure out what I want to do in that respect. Mhm. See, this is so big, and I really do not need it this big. So I'm gonna first peel off the back just to make it thinner. And maybe I want to keep this part because it's the cute part that I designed, but then this is the part that actually says what it is with the first birthday. So maybe I should keep the whole thing. You know, the one thing I am thinking about with this entry, like I said, because I have so much, is I had this idea, and maybe it's a bad idea, I can't decide, that maybe this could be like the ultimate peekaboo page, and it's October, so it's kind of fitting for the month, you know, peekaboo, like boo, scary, I don't know, October, spooky season. But the idea was that I would just have like a bunch of tip-ins, and it would be like, ooh, like lift this up, and it's about that event, and lift this up, and it's photos and things related to that event. I don't often do a ton of interactive elements in my monthly journaling because I do kind of like for you to see almost everything at a glance. But I thought this could be a fun idea for this entry, to not make it so everything at a glance and actually have it more like things are revealed as you interact with the page. So I don't know, what do you guys think about that idea? Meanwhile, I need to figure out what I want to use in my corner, because you guys know I always like to start with some kind of sticker or something under the October banner. Maybe I'll just do like a little piece of my classic fall washi that I love so much. We could do the big tree up in the corner. I probably used that in a previous October spread. I would not be surprised because I love it so. Let's see what I did. Sometimes it's fun to look back at what you did the last year and to see how things are different or the same. So this was last October, and you can see I had basically used all of our monthly kit stickers to design this entry. All of the monthly kits are available for you over on my Patreon and are themed literally for that month with these awesome color palettes. And by the way, the bingo cards I'm gonna do in the same color palettes, so that way they match the monthly kits so that you can use them together and it'll all look nice and cohesive. But it looks like I did not actually use that sticker. I didn't use it in November either. But I did use the Middletown, which I guess they have not changed their design. Oops, I'm throwing things already. So as you can see, they are using the same design that they used last year for their fall book sale. So maybe I'll just use like a little piece of this year instead of using the whole big thing. But it is really fun. I just love seeing like things that stay the same and that don't change over the years. I'm gonna look at 2023. while we're here. Yeah, I didn't use it then either. Nice. I did, like, I have real pheasant feathers in that spread, which I unfortunately don't have any this time to document that. But let's go ahead then and use, no, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, it's stuck to things and hiding. So let's use this here in the corner. How are the leaves, for those of you maybe in the US or I don't know, other parts of the world, more north, but have they changed well for you this year? Because they were pretty disappointing, I would say. I will say on the drive back from North Carolina, I did notice some more color change and like actual like pretty leaves, but it seemed like just with it being drier this year and just the way the weather was, it was mostly just browning and then dying and then on the ground without as much color as we've seen in previous years. Oh, I'm glad some of you had more beautiful experiences. Yes, in North Carolina, I did notice that they were nicer, but yeah, it wasn't, I mean, it's not bad. You still saw them change, but I think last year was just so impressive, or maybe it was the year before that. But maybe my expectations were set higher. Yeah, New York didn't have as much color at all. Yeah, so it was like, you kind of had to like look for specific trees to really see it, whereas in other years, I feel like it was just, all of them were gorgeous and stunning. Okay, there we go. We're gonna wrap this up somehow. So what glue I use for this type of journal, which is a Dingbats B5 with thicker paper. With the thicker paper, I like to use this Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. It works so well. Everything really sticks extremely well, and I haven't had any issues with this glue at all. So that's kind of my go-to now. I found early on, and if you watch some of my older videos of doing monthly journaling in this notebook, I was trying to do monthly journaling in the style that I've kind of done all of my journaling, which is, you know, very scrapbook-esque. And because I have more of a scrapbook background, I was a fan of a tape runner for the longest time. Like, that was how I adhered things to the page. But I pretty much realized early on that the tape was just not sticking very well at all to this paper. It just was coming up all the time. And then one of you recommended that I try this glue. And so I've been converted. I now am all about the liquid glue, and it dries super fast as well, which is really important. Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna put this, because this was one of the first events that we had. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I could do that. Well, no, I won't do that. Sorry, I'm thinking thoughts to myself, but I don't think they watch my channel anyways. But let's just say that we're pretty sure our food poisoning was connected to a certain event, but I don't know that I want it to be obvious that they're connected to each other on the page, because I don't want anybody to feel bad. So I'd love to know what you all are working on as you're watching. Sarah, are you still on the couch? Not to call you out. I know some of you might, in fact, just be watching this while you're chilling and hanging out, and that's totally okay. Some are probably doing the dishes or laundry, and some of you are joining me in actually journaling. You got up. Good job. Bree's also working on her October page. Ooh, this is curling up. That's awesome. Your first journal entry ever. That's so exciting. So is that a monthly entry, I assume, that you're doing with this? And are you documenting October, or are you trying to go back in time at all? Because sometimes people don't like starting mid-year and they try and start earlier, or just do like a season. Oh, nice. Pictures for a fall journal. Love that. Okay. Hello. Oh, I'm so glad you had great leaf color in Maryland. Yes, autumn is so lovely. All right, I think that's good. I think what I might do is just put like some more washi down at the bottom here to help hold this down, so I don't feel like fighting with it. And then we can just use those kind of throughout, and it'll help tie things together as well. So I might even just put it down here in the corner, and then we can layer on top of it. And that is actually a good tip if you are feeling a little stuck with how to start your entry. If you have some kind of pattern paper or wide washi tape like what I'm using, or even, you know, a free option would be to just hold on to some like brown paper bags and just rip off pieces and put like an odd number. So I would say 3 pieces in 3 different places, or 5 pieces in 5 different places, and then use those as anchors and build out from those points. So we'll have like this as an anchor, this is an anchor, this is one over here. I guess we'll just illustrate what I'm suggesting and actually put some more down. So this little pumpkin down here would be an anchor. And while we're at it, why not we'll add one more with this leaf. And this one I'll just put kind of right in the middle of the page. So it kind of helps you get over the fear of the blank page, right? Because you're just putting them down in sort of random spots, trying to spread them out on the page. And it fills up space. And then you can use those as starting points to build around. So, for example, I have this little collage of photos that I took that were really just photos that I really liked or represented small joys from this last month. So like seeing a beautiful sunset on my drive home as the skies are getting darker earlier. Just the way the light looks in the morning on the wall, just through the window and in our dining room is just so magical and beautiful. And so I wanted to capture that. We had a beautiful rainy day, and I kind of sat up in the cafe at work and looked out, and just enjoyed working from that spot that day. I have my journaling session, which that video is available on my channel if you haven't watched it yet. It is a catch-up journaling session in which I do some travel journaling. So I have this photo from that. And then I went thrifting, and I shared in that same video this new mug that I got, and also this little, what is that called? A princess house lamp that I thrifted and was very proud of. And so I wanted to include those items on this entry. And so what I'm thinking is that it would be fun for this actually to be some kind of little tip-in. I want something that's going to capture like little joys. Oh, that's not going to be big enough. So if I could find a little tag or something. This is my box of paper delights that I just keep shoving things into, and I have no organization to it whatsoever. It's just where all of my paper cards and journaling cards mostly go to die because I don't actually look through it as often as I should and use it as much. So that's why I thought this would be a good time to try and do some tip-ins, and maybe we can use up at least a few of these cards. So there's a lot of pretty ones. Ooh, look at these leaves. That could be a fun tip-in, so we'll take that out. Camping. Ooh, that's a bit loud. This is the problem with live streams, is I could spend just an hour looking through my stuff. But nobody wants to watch that. New beginnings. I like that card, but I'm not sure. I like this life is lovely. That could work. That might work. I'm going to take that one out for now. I'll probably come back to this box in a moment, but for now, oh, I do like this too. We'll keep it at that. Because I think I probably can trim put this on the back, I think, and trim it. And then we'll tip it in here. No, I did a bad job. Dang it. I knew I should have just used my trimmer. This is what happens when I try and do things by hand. Now I have to trim it even more. Now it's gonna take away the sunset. Oh well, okay. That works. So let's so I'm gonna glue that to the back and then thinking I might trim the bottom and then washi. Well, I don't know. I'm debating now. Because I put it on backwards. If I was gonna lift, like have it flip up, but then I feel like I should. Is it too late? All right, it's not dried yet. We're good. Because I want it to flip up, so I'm going to reverse it so that when you flip it up, so let me think about this. Life is lovely, so I was going to flip this way. Struggle. Ay, 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 ay. So sticky. Okay, I think we fixed it. So my thought is that we'll put it in this corner, and I actually want to do it at an angle, and then it'll flip up. And then underneath it, I'm gonna write kind of a little list of what these things are. So let's pick out a nice washi tape for that. Here I have some like cute little fall washies that we could use. Okay, I'm gonna bring that down a little bit closer. So then you flip it up, and then I normally like to put a strip of washi on both sides just to secure it a little bit better. And then I do occasionally, and I probably should now, but I'm not gonna bother, also put down a piece of regular tape, especially for a journal that I want to last, you know, a long time, which I definitely do for this one. But this is pretty strong washi, so I think we'll be okay. But you could always just put regular tape underneath it to help secure it even more. So there we have our little tip-in. And then underneath, we'll create a list, and then I might even label these. I wonder if I have very little number stickers, because that would be cute. If it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And then my list of 5 reasons, or captions rather, for them. Yes, you can also put a little bit of glue under it to help hold it down as well. So the other thing that I know I'm probably going to want to do a tip in for, I should bring you up a little bit, is, well, I guess multiple things. I have so many things. All right, so we have Ben's mom's birthday. And this is Charlotte's birthday, so we can put her up there. And then Ben's North Dakota trip, which we could do something like that and layer them. And then this is us pheasant hunting. And then Scott and Emily had their baby. So this is Archie. And obviously need to document that. So they had a boy. All right, and then we have all of these photos from our friend's wedding. So that's one of the things that I'm thinking, like, oh yeah, I definitely need to do like a big tip-in to fit all of those on. So maybe that was the end of the month. I feel like I'm gonna need just like a giant card with that flips up and then has all these photos on it for the wedding. Because it also was like exploring the area a bit. Our Airbnb, oh my goodness, guys. Our Airbnb was very cute and very nice, but I purposefully found an Airbnb in historic Oakwood, which is like this beautiful neighborhood with the most beautiful houses just outside of like the center of the city of Raleigh, thinking like, oh, that way we don't have to pay for a parking garage and we can have the dog and it's all great. But the night before the wedding was Halloween. And so we pull up to this neighborhood and apparently it's like the Halloween town of the world. And like this house, I mean, this photo doesn't, you're not even gonna be able to tell, but it's just so much stuff, just stuff. All the scary, spooky, animatronic craziness that you can buy in stores was on these people's front lawns. Not our Airbnb. This was a few houses down. But apparently it's a big attraction, and so there was zero parking anywhere. There were like all these streets were closed down, and you like could barely even navigate the area, and the GPS didn't know that the streets were closed down. It was a total mess. It took us like an hour to park our car and be able to unload our stuff at this Airbnb. It was a nightmare. But the Airbnb was nice and all was ultimately well, but it was funny. And it's like, Ben doesn't care that much about Halloween, but I'm not a fan. And so it for me was like, oh my gosh, we're like just in the middle of Halloween craziness. It was very funny. All right, so let's see what else we have here. I've got the books that I read. So that could go over here somewhere. I don't even know if I'll use this Halloween. I might just like talk about it and mention it. It's just, you can't even tell what's happening in the photo because it's so much. Just so many people and things. So maybe I won't include that one. And I'll just include these ones. And my cousin's wife is pregnant, so we had a baby shower, or I went to a baby shower when Ben was in North Dakota for her, so maybe I'll put that over here. See what I'm saying? See the craziness of how much stuff I'm trying to fit onto this page. And then we have the public library. And like I said, I think I'm just gonna do so we might just use that piece somewhere. And oh, I had something else. I think I might have left it downstairs. And now I can't even remember what it was. It was folded up. Oh, that's gonna bother me. Something else I know I wanted to use on the page. I had saved it. Oh, I know what it is. It was the wedding menu. That food was so good. I did want to I did want to memorialize the wedding's menu because it was that food was some of the best. I will say Raleigh knows what they're doing when it comes to food. I was very impressed. Very. I'll use this one. So I'm just gonna maybe include that from the museum brochure. I did think that it could also be cute, but I'm not going to because I don't have room. But I thought it would be a cute idea. Like if I was doing a full spread about our trip to the museum, it would be really cute to cut out one of the floors of the map and put that in our in the journal. That would be really fun. Or even just like this list of like some of the things you got to see. It was a really cool museum. Maybe I could use that list. But again, like, I don't have room. Where am I going to put that? Right, we'll cut it out and see. Maybe there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Oh, you should, Sarah. If you're in North Carolina, oh my goodness, it's free. Did I mention it's free? It's so awesome. Ben and I were actually upset we couldn't spend even more time there. Like, I could have very easily enjoyed an entire day at that museum. We loved it. But we're big nature people, and it's all like nature and science, so. But it was well geared to children too. I will say, I don't know what age your kids are, But especially make sure you go across the bridge to the research area because they had a lot of like more interactive stuff for kids too. Oh my goodness, are you right outside of Raleigh? Yes, go there. Go there for sure. Also, I don't know if you've been here before, but it was our first time. It was called Press. And look how cute this little seahorse design they did in my latte was. And the food was so good. So that was right in Raleigh too. It's like a crepe and coffee place. It was delicious. We loved it. Highly recommend. Oh yeah, 15, 12, and 9. Yeah, I think you all would have a great time. Highly recommend. Okay, I'm overwhelmed, friends. I'm overwhelmed by all my pictures and everything. So let's see here. Let's focus. Let's get rid of all the overwhelm and try and focus on one little corner. And I'm going to try and focus on the wedding. Now, I will say, you might have heard that I said we arrived on Friday the 31st, and the wedding that I'm documenting was technically November 1st. But when I have like an entire experience, I want to keep it all together. And so I don't want to separate some of the wedding weekend into October and then some of it in November. So even though the dates don't totally match up for this to be October, it's not going to matter when I'm looking back on this 5 years from now if this was actually October or if it happened at the start of November. So I'm just going to include it all in my November or my October entry, even though, as we've established, I don't really have room, because I want to keep it all together. They had Polaroids at the wedding, little Polaroid cameras, so that was fun. You could put one in their guest book, which we did, and then you can also, could print some. And well, I think most people were just putting them in the guest book, but of course, for me, for the journal, I had to also get one to bring home. So what I'm thinking is that this could be a pocket, and then you can pull this out. Maybe I'll even do it like that. And I think we probably could find a journaling card that's just like the teeniest bit bigger than this, and then I could put some of it on one side and some of it on another side. And then we could do like the museum down here maybe. Oh, that's also the wedding. So many wedding photos. Okay. It's just this guy on the back saying eat. That's always funny when you cut things out. I'm like, why do I have this guy cut out? And like, it's just the back. Too funny. Well, we definitely would be covering him up. No offense to this guy. But it could be... Would that work? It could be like that. I don't know. I'm very torn. Maybe. I think. Screw plugs and sides. Oh, this thing's falling apart. Favorites. Just like random little prompt things from Smashpad. It's years and years old, but this kind of thing is actually a lot of what I do now as the journal prompts over on Patreon. Is I make them more like cards that you could actually use on your page. Sorry, I'm digging through my box off screen. I could just use like a Post-it. And not overthink so much. I could use this too since it was such a spooky Halloween night. Or like these are pretty. Ooh, look at that. Let's see, this is the kind of thing that you're not going to want to cover up. Oh yeah, and then I have these book ones. Oh, they're so pretty. I mean, the colors in this definitely are working with everything else that's happening. Let's try trimming it down and seeing what we think. Okay. So let's imagine this tucked into there, and then maybe this is on the back, and then it could be this photo of, this is the groom, by the way, who is a good friend of mine from junior high / high school from my early days. So this was like a high school reunion type of wedding, which was really fun. Let's just glue stuff down, because otherwise I'll just keep thinking. See how this works. It's the Tombow Multi Liquid Glue, Mono Liquid Glue, Mono XL. I have it linked in my Amazon storefront, which is always linked in the description, so you can check it out there. It's really not very expensive and works great. All right. This drink, by the way, I was very excited about because I discovered in Peru that I'm like not really somebody who knows cocktails and drinks very well. So like if I get anything, it's usually just a glass of wine, and occasionally if I'm like really treating myself somewhere, I'll get like a chocolate martini. But in Peru, I discovered that I really enjoy pisco sours, which is Peru's national drink. But it's not something you see other places, I think, as frequently, or maybe I'm wrong. But I haven't seen it really elsewhere. But they had it on their menu as like one of their drinks, and so I was very, very happy getting to have a drink that I got to enjoy in Peru, and then was able to have it here. Oh, you just came off though. That's not good. I guess you didn't dry enough. Okay. So all right, and then probably could put like this underneath. Even oh, I could I don't know. Still so torn. I mean, I could stick more than one thing into the pocket is also an option. Because I could, ooh, maybe I'll do this. Okay. We're going to make this into its own little journaling card and do like a little collage on the back of additional things from our trip. Oh, that was unfortunate. Man, my, what is this called? Paper trimmer blade is all messed up. And I don't know where my other ones are. So hi Chelsea, welcome. Your experience with wanting to follow in your mother's footsteps of traditional scrapbooking, but not actually wanting to take on the craziness that is traditional scrapbooking is exactly what led me to first like creative journaling in general, and then to developing my own pathway with monthly journaling, because I used to scrapbook with my mom all the time. Maybe you've seen some videos where I talk about that. And I would go on these scrapbooking retreats with her and her friends, and they would all be working on photo books for their babies. And these women had children my age at the time. So, you know, like early 20s, probably at the time that I was going with her. And I was like, oh my goodness, they're like, you want to talk about feeling behind in your scrapbook or booking or journaling? Yeah, these women were literally 20 years behind trying to catch up doing baby books and like vacations from 10 plus years ago. And I was like, man, I want to document my life, but I cannot imagine a sustainable path if I'm doing scrapbooking the way that they are. And so I figured out my own way forward with doing it more in a journaling way, but still obviously having all the photos and getting to document your memories in a fun way. So it's worked out really well. All right, where did my, there it is. So we'll put the little coffee photo on the back here as well. And then maybe I will, if I can find it again, because now I lost it, but put that photo of the crazy Halloween town house, but I lost it. I don't know where it is. But I think I would, yeah, is this it? No, it's not. I don't know. I could just put the wedding photo there, I guess, instead. Well, maybe I just won't use this photo since I have this one of us. I don't really need this one too. And I'm sure as we go through things, we'll find, oh, here's a photo from the museum. I could put that in instead of Ben looking up at the whale skeleton. So let's put that on and we'll see if we find the other. But my thought is that I can then just kind of tuck that in here, and I'll tuck this one in here. And then it just kind of condenses all these photos in one little spot instead of them having each one. If I was to like put them out separately on the page and have them all fully displayed, it would take up probably almost this entire page. So just doing the layers and then making it into a little pocket helps keep it all together as one trip experience without overwhelming the rest of the page. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's partly why a lot of times scrapbooks, like when people are doing it in that way, they don't have a lot of details. Like, you know, they don't have the journaling because they don't probably remember. So it's usually just like a cute photo and like a word that says like love you or just like so cute as your title, because you don't have like the heartwarming details to really expound upon. Anyhow, I am going to figure out, maybe I can use this. I don't even know if this works. I don't even know what I'm using. This is some kind of glue pen that I have, but I thought maybe this would help me keep Sorry, I did not finish that thought. I thought that this would help keep the glue just on the edges. So I'm only putting glue on the 3 edges. And then where I put it down, this side should be open. I'm going to try and make it in such a way that you can still like slip something under it. Maybe. So I feel like even that glue was too far down, so I'm going to need to cut some more. But that's okay. So we're just going to cut it to the photo. And I might also, if I can find it. Okay, I'm gonna round the edges just so it goes in a little bit easier as well. I think what I'm gonna do is actually, we're gonna like do a little inception just to like keep this all together and put a little bit of washi. Yeah, I'm not sure if you laminated the pictures how well you'd be able to get glue to stick to them. You might be able to use a really strong tape adhesive. Yeah, they do sell pockets as well that you could use to slip it in. And then, yeah, I like your idea too, Sarah, of the paper clip or staples even. Like sometimes that can be a cute idea. Anyways, so what I did is I just made a little extra flap for that tip in, and then we have me and my friend. And so this will go in the pocket, right like that. And we might need to use a different glue, but anyways, so there's my little interactive moment. Keeping all of the wedding and weekend stuff in one place, which I think actually worked nicely. Maybe we'll put this down here. This is the pheasant hunting. I love that photo. It feels so picturesque in fall. All right, let's think here. I think what I would like to do, now I've done this before and it has worked sometimes and not worked other times, is every now and then when Ben has an experience or we have an experience together where I want his input on it, I like to create a little journaling card and space for him to fill out and share his thoughts. And I think that would be very nice for him to do for his trip to North Dakota. But of course, that requires that he actually follow through and write and say, you know, what he did. So all I can do is provide the space for him to write a little bit and like say 5 highlights or something like that. I think this card could be a good option for that because I could have it tucked in here and then I can put this photo on the front. So that could be an option. Another option could be something like this. I think I'm gonna do this because I think I'm gonna put this like over here, and then I want that to stick out. I think that works. All right, let's do the same thing. I'm gonna try it with this glue though. So putting it down just along the edges. Okay, and then this will go in there. And then we'll put this, yeah, like right there. Perfect. Okay. And so it kind of worked out nice with the pumpkin here because I can just kind of work around it, and then it gives me a guidepost for where to put this sticker. And then we'll put I might try like just take a little piece of this. Yeah, it might not show super well, but sometimes just putting a little piece of washi or a sticker of some kind. So I'll probably also add like a word sticker of some kind. It helps it to not feel like a photo is just floating out in space. It again, similar to putting these down, it provides that anchor for you to attach it to. So now it's like attached to this piece of washi, and then we can add another little embellishment of some kind. I have some travel related stickers in here. One of these might be good. Dream. I don't know if you'll be able to see that though. Wherever you go, traveling is a journey of exploration and discovery. Traveling frees us from the hustle and bustle of daily life, allowing us to relax and enjoy moments of freedom. Traveling is a never-ending book, with each journey being a new chapter. That's a nice little quote from the collection that I got from the washi tape shop. I think this is the one that was like London. You can go back and see my washi hauls. But what I'm thinking is that that would be a very nice sentiment to add. Yeah, you do that there. And then actually, do I have any that are, yeah, road trip. Perfect. This is from my Everyday Adventures collection on Patreon, which actually is more meant to like document things locally around you and adventures that you might have in your own backyard, including little road trips. But in this case, it is going to document a very big road trip because they drove, you know, across the country to get to North Dakota. Where do I want it? That right there. Road trip, and then I'll probably write like North Dakota, big, or big-ish across. But I was looking for, I got distracted, but I was looking for a sticker to put here. I thought maybe the dream. Let's see. That's not bad. I could then write like live in the dream or something over it if we think we can write on this. I think it'll stay after it dries. Oh well, I don't love it, but that's okay. Maybe a sparkle will fix it like it always does. Live in the dream. I don't love the way the lettering for live in the turned out, which always, honestly, I feel like happens whenever I use a separate word and then try and letter and connect it to that to create a phrase. I feel like I never like how it turns out. So maybe that should be a lesson learned, but here we are. So my idea is that I can then get him to write on the back, maybe like his top 5, just like quick notes, top 5 things from the trip. And then that will go there. Maybe what I'll do, I know I probably could, but it actually did, it kind of dried pretty well. Though I probably could wet it. Oh well, it doesn't bother me too much. So what I'm thinking is I could do, well, I guess it says North Dakota there, but it's not that big. My photos I print out on my Epson EcoTank 8500, which is my at-home printer, and it is one that can do photos in different sizes, as well as like regular printing. It's how I print all of my printable stickers as well. It's pretty high quality in terms of like its ability to print out art. And so that is one of the reasons that I got it. And I do really love it. You do have to be very specific with your settings to match your paper to the printer settings. So this paper that I printed on is the Koala brand of the luster, or it might be called satin paper in 5x7. And then I basically just need to make sure that on my phone, when I go to print out the sticker, or the photos rather, that I select the luster setting I find works best for that type of paper. So I have to select it there. And then you also have to make sure that on your printer, wherever you're feeding from, so I usually put my photo paper in the back feeder, I have to make sure that that paper is also set to be 5x7 and satin or luster paper. So that way it connects. And if you mess any of those things up, it will it will not present good results. So it's definitely, I have experienced a lot of trial and error in kind of figuring out the right settings for your different papers. But the biggest thing is just making sure that wherever you're printing from, your phone, your computer, your tablet, the settings on that and where you're printing to on the printer, whether the rear feeder or the front, like bottom photo tray, wherever you're printing from, that you also have it set on the printer to be the same paper and photos, like, what am I trying to say? The same photo paper type selection on there as well. I do at some point want to film a whole video about how I print photos and then another video about how I print stickers. It's just one of those things, like, I have to like set aside a whole day to film that type of video because it's gonna be like sit down and yeah, it'll be a production. So it is something that I want to do and will be coming, but life is just really crazy and busy right now, as you can see. Like we're like all over the place. We're in North Dakota one weekend, or he is at least, and then in Raleigh the next, and so many other things happening all over the place. Okay, that needs to go up there. Oh, this is a wedding photo. It might, we'll see. Maybe I put that under there, maybe I don't. I need to figure out a way to get those corners to stay down. All right, I need a drink. Okay. Let's see what else we have to do here. This is birthday party related for Ben's mom. And I did originally think, ooh, like this also could be a pocket. And we could, like I said, we could just have like pockets and pull outs galore, but, and it could be like this. And then you flip it up and then it reveals the other side of the table. That could be fun. I don't know, maybe we'll do that. Yes, you could also do that. Lots of people just print them out. They're the printable stickers on regular paper and cut it out and glue it in. It's not too much extra work. You also can, with the photos too, you know, you might be surprised just trying on your at-home printer, printing photos out, how it works. The only problem often, I think, is it can get very expensive with ink if you don't have a printer that's good in how it conserves and uses ink. And I think that's why I love and recommend the Eco Tank so much. Even if you don't get the same kind as me, because they do have more budget-friendly options besides the 8500. But in all cases, I think with the Eco Tank, the amount of ink that it uses is it's amazing. I literally have not replaced the ink since I got this printer in, I want to say, maybe the very beginning of 2023. Is that when I got it? But that's a long time. Like, that's a very long time. And I still have, I think my lowest one is at a quarter. So maybe at some point soon I'm going to have to top it off. But even the original bottles that I got with the printer, I haven't used all of them, even when I filled it the first time. So I still have ink just in storage that I can refill them. So I don't even know what the ink costs because I've literally never had to buy ink for this printer, because it came with it the first time and I've just been using it ever since. And obviously, as you can see, I print a ton of stuff. So it's really worth it for that reason. It's definitely an upfront investment that saves you in the long run. All right, we don't want to cover up salutations, so I think we want to put this right here. Ooh, maybe what I'll do, here's an idea. Well, we'll see. I was thinking maybe I could put, some of the book related things on the back of this card, because some of the ones that I'm currently reading are actually with my mother-in-law. Mother in love, I like to say. I think that has a nicer ring to it. For our little kindred spirits book club that we have, just the two of us, but my husband Ben actually joined us in reading Jane Eyre, which I have here in the middle, and unfortunately it cut off at the bottom, so it doesn't have my star ratings, but I gave Jane Eyre 5 stars. It was not my favorite classic, but it still was an amazing classic and very well done. I'm not sure I get the whole Mr. Rochester obsession, though, I have to say. Like, people, like, swoon over him. I'm like, really? I don't know. I don't know if I get it. But here we are. So, let me know if you guys have read Jane Eyre. For so many people, it's their favorite classic, which is very interesting. So yeah, so I'm thinking I could put my books actually here, and then this one here, because I read Jane Eyre and I started but have not yet finished Frankenstein, and unfortunately I feel like I'm not going to be able to get it done before the movie comes out. There's a new adaptation coming out on Netflix, I believe on Friday, and I would really like to, because Ben wants to watch it right away, but I have never read the book, and I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie, but timing-wise, I just have something like every night this week, so I just don't think it's gonna happen. This is the thing about when you start doing tip-ins, it really does show you how much space it saves, because now I have all these tip-ins, which is great, and like little fun elements like pocket, but as a result, I actually have a lot of space, I think, left that I haven't used yet. So, I mean, we still have some things to add, of course. But it just goes to show you how much it does help with saving space. Oh, that's okay. The book coming to Netflix is Frankenstein. It's a new adaptation of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And I'm currently reading the book with my mother-in-law and my husband Ben, because we have a little kindred spirits book club where we try and read books together now. And I am not quite done or even close to done, but we're supposed to watch the movie together. Probably on Saturday. Yeah, it's one I never read either, so this is my first time reading it. I am enjoying it so far. Let's see. Oh, I read that book, Everything is Tuberculosis. I listened to that on audio. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, super fascinating. He did a really good job with it. Definitely, I learned a ton that I didn't realize about tuberculosis and its history and just how it affects people today, even though it really shouldn't, because it should be a cured disease that isn't affecting people, but of course it still is. Yeah, it was really interesting. What is everybody else reading? You guys know I love hearing what everybody's reading. Is anybody reading I Capture the Castle for our Abiding Journal book club? If you haven't checked that out yet, it's being hosted on the Storygraph app, and then I have information about it over on Patreon, of course. But super fun way to get involved with our community and enjoy another passion of mine together, which is reading, of course. This actually started out a long, long, long time ago as a booktube channel. I changed it not long after. I had started the channel, so I didn't have a ton of book content, but that is how it started. It was called The Scribbled Bookcase, and shout out to anybody who was here at that time. But one of my goals, probably for the new year, is to do some more book-related content, because I love reading. It's a huge passion of mine. I feel like it's where I want more of my time to be spent, too, so it would just be I think I'm gonna put this up here. Because I think I want to use this to journal a little. Oh, thank you. I feel like I don't have that many of them. I did one on like books for grief a little while ago, and one a very long time ago. But yes, I do. I guess when I'm doing these spreads and stuff, I talk about what I'm currently reading, and I'm excited to do that more. Yeah, I haven't read any Francine Rivers, and I know there's a lot of people who really like her, so she's on my list. I think I'm gonna get a Kobo Libra this year for Christmas as a little gift to myself before I do the Camino, because I am not gonna be able to go 3 weeks without reading, but I'm gonna need like a physical way to read books without actually carrying books in my pack. And so I think I'm just gonna finally cave and get an e-reader. And I think that would be a good way for me to read some of those books where I'm trying new authors. I could get them from the library then as ebooks, which would be really nice. So I'm excited for that. Let's put this over here just to get it down. What is that? Are you asking about the Kobo Libra? Is that what you're asking? What is it? It's a type of e-reader. It's like another kind that you can get instead of getting a Kindle, which Kindles keep you a little bit more tied to purchasing from like Amazon and Kindle specifically. And since I've never had an e-reader, I thankfully don't have like a backlog of e-reader books saved up that I would want to stick to one type, so I can be a little bit more choosy in what type of e-reader I want to pick out and use. And I've done a lot of research on Kobos versus Kindles and have heard a lot of good thing about the Kobo and like what it can do. And I like the fact that it has buttons on the side to turn the pages, which seems like a silly thing, but I think it'll actually be very convenient and nice. Yep, and then I'm gonna borrow from the library and have them go right to the e-reader, which will be so nice. But it just means I'm gonna want to read even more than I'm already reading, and so that means I'm gonna want to talk about it more, and I might not be, I'm still gonna be journaling a ton, don't get me wrong, but I just want to have a little bit more variety here to encompass more of all the fun things I love to do. All right, I think, did we get all the, other than this one that's floating about. There also, I don't know what happened to that one photo. I have this little volunteered at church from one of our faith add-on kits. I don't even know which kit this is the add-on for, but I saw this, I think like last month, and so I cut it out wanting to save it because I knew that we had signed up to volunteer for a church because our church is getting remodeled a little bit, so we had signed up to do some painting in October, so I saved this sticker so that I could remember to use it on this page to document that. We'll just stick it there maybe. And I don't know where that stomach relief thing went. Now that was pretty big, so I'm still a little iffy about fitting that on the page. Maybe I'll just do like under here I could say like retro. We had food poisoning. Oh, here it is. Yeah, see, it's just like kind of big. It's big and very pink. For see during Jesus' ministry time. That does sound interesting, Chelsea. I don't know. What do you think? Like, sometimes I do enjoy using these real life moments, on the page, and it could go like up here. But sometimes, it doesn't really work with the color scheme, or it's just like not quite right. I don't know if it's too pink. Just a little too pink. yes, I could do a tip-in again. We are getting a little crazy with our tip-ins on this page anyhow. I wonder if this would... Maybe I'll do this. I could put it over here, I could put it over there. And I could put it, do I put it on the back maybe? All right. Sorry, I'm less talkative today. I feel like I'm all talked out. But I think we're almost done. So what side do I want to put this on? Go like this. Okay, so this is the same paper that we used over here with that really fun kind of foiling on it. I think I got this from Obujo forever ago. So what I'm thinking is that then it's like a nice match to this, and we can just stick it in this corner and have it be a tip-in. Which, of course, was your great idea. Now, figure out what washi I want to use. By the way, speaking of washi, look at all this fun new winter washi that I just got from the washi tape shop. These people are going to be the death of my storage because they keep asking if they can send me washi, and I can't say no because look how beautiful it is. I hope that more of you sign up for my Happy Mail so that I can send you some swatches of their washi over on Patreon, because I definitely have more than I can use. Yes. But yeah, that'll definitely be in people's January Happy Mail. If you're on the Happy Mail tier, you have that to look forward to. I'm going to be doing a unboxing, I guess, unraveling of that washi in a future video at some point. So excited to share that. I'm excited to open it because I haven't even seen it. And sometimes they ask me to pick out washi, and sometimes they just send me like their latest collections. And in this case, they are sending me just their latest collections. So I actually haven't seen this washi yet. Here we go. Stomach relief. Happy Mail, Karen, is on my highest tier over on Patreon. You can check it out. It gives you access to, of course, everything on Patreon. So all of the stickers, literally the Abiding Faith tier, every tier, everything digitally that is available on Patreon. And then in addition to that, as an added thank you on the Happy Mail tier, which is called Abiding Joy, I also send those patrons Happy Mail. First when they sign up, and then again twice a year in July and January. So it'll be time again very soon for Happy Mail to be sent to everybody. And then if you, like I said, when you sign up, you'll also get kind of welcome Happy Mail on that tier too. So if you're interested, you can learn more over on my Patreon. But what I do is when I say Happy Mail, basically it's a handwritten note from me on a nice postcard, typically saying thank you. And then it's all kinds of little like bits and bobs like this and like this. And then some of that washi, like I said, because I love sharing that with others. And I just include it all in a Happy Mail package for you. So it's little treats from my own journaling stash that I share with everybody there. And it is international too. So because it's typically flat, I can ship it easily. So I just use an international stamp on it. So if you are not in the US, but you take international stamps, I can send it to you too. Okay, look at this fun page with all of our flip ups and pockets and tuck-ins. This is like my interactive journaling video one-on-one. If you haven't seen that video, I have a whole video that is one of actually my more popular videos on my channel. Maybe some of you discovered me that way. That is all about interactive journaling and how to write all these types of ideas, and then some even crazier ideas than this over there. But I feel like this is actually a good stopping point. So I will be, of course, going in and adding some more details and maybe I'll get Ben to write his journaling on the back here. Of course, got to talk about Jane Eyre a bit. Maybe I'll do like a Jane Eyre quote here, but then it's next to Frankenstein, which doesn't make sense. So maybe I'll put the Jane Eyre quote down here. And then I'm going to make my list of like the tiny little pleasures of life. That's going to happen here. And then I'm sure once I look at my list, because I haven't even been checking my notes, that I will remember other things that I forgot I wanted to document. And I have this space left over where I can still do that. And we have our little fun paper item from our pocket, and then our little collage that we made of some of the memorabilia from the trip. How fun is that? So cute. Yay. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you like the Happy Mail. Thanks, Brie. I'm so glad you found me at the organizing event too. The one she's talking about is the Get Organized event that is this like big online organizing event where they invite all kinds of creators basically to come and do a virtual class, which is basically, it's like a YouTube video essentially. But, they try and make like really good, just kind of like lesson or tips and ideas typically related to organizing, but they were trying to expand beyond just like putting things in storage bins and that sort of thing and thinking like broader about organizing. And so they invited me to participate, and I had the idea to share how I organize my memories, which of course is through monthly journaling. And so I did a whole video about monthly journaling, and that is how Karen and actually a few others found me as well through that organizing event called Get Organized HQ Virtual. And yeah, they do it once a year. Um, I believe, and have a lot of really great creators come and participate. So I have information about it on my YouTube, and you can like get that access pass, I think, in retrospect. But I think it's kind of, to be fair, a little ridiculously expensive um, to get it after the fact. So I would just wait for the new year, like the next time that they do it, because it is free to join, and then you can get extra things by paying like a little bit, but it's a lot cheaper if you do early bird as opposed to after. Oh, that's how you found me too? Yeah, Get Organized HQ. Oh, I'm so glad. That's so fun that you guys are here because of that. Well, I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me and getting to see my journaling process as we documented October. I thought this was actually a fun entry. You know, there's a lot of different things happening on this page, and we were able to get most of them covered just by adding all of these fun interactive elements. And it still feels pretty at a glance, which is nice, even though it is, you know, things are also kind of hidden and tucked away too. Wow, I can't believe how many of you found me through the Get Organized event. That's so wonderful. Honestly, that's why I agreed to do it, because I was like, well, this is a nice way to get the idea of monthly journaling in front of people who maybe wouldn't have thought about it otherwise and wouldn't be thinking to like type in journaling on YouTube as much. It's more, you know, hitting a new audience. So I'm so glad you guys are here. Yes, it is. It's there. If you have the all access pass, it's my whole video or class is about monthly journaling for busy, happy lives. So you can go and watch that and get even more ideas for how to journal in this way. Yay. Oh, so glad. Thanks, guys. That means a lot to me. And I'm really excited. You know, it's always nice coming up to a new year because it's a time when more people are thinking about, okay, what do I want to do in this coming year? And so I'm excited about 2026 and encouraging more people to like get started, because the new year is always the best time to encourage people to give it a try. So you all can help me in my endeavor to get everybody documenting their memories. Yeah, I also, as a somebody who presented, they give presenters the all access pass, which is very kind. And I too have not made it through like barely any of the videos. It's so much content, which is great, and you get it for life, so you have time to go back and do it. But yeah, I'm also wanting to go back and watch some of the videos and lessons that seemed interesting to me. All right, friends, so that is our monthly hangout. If you are interested in any of the stickers, bucket list stickers, monthly stickers, happy mail, all the things we talked about, it would mean so much to me if you headed over to my Patreon and considered joining us there. And of course, you can join for completely free as well. It's a great way to stay in the know about everything that is happening here in the monthly journaling club and just on my channel in general. So you'll always get notified when a new video comes out. And of course, you'll also get access to all of the freebie stickers that are available over there as well. So do go and check that out, linked in the description. And good luck to everyone as you finish your monthly entries. I'll be sharing my completed one over on Patreon as well in our chat, so you can look for it there, and more content coming to YouTube soon. Like I said, it's been a hectic season, but I have lots of ideas, and it's just a matter of finding time to actually make them happen. And yes, that is the name of my class. If you want to check out Get Organized, it is Organizing Your Memories, Monthly Journaling for Busy, Happy Lives. So thank you all so much. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.